And we're back. This is the before and after for Isle of Dogs. So directed by Wes Anderson, written by Wes Anderson, starring a crap ton of people. We are treated again to his imaginative brains.
His quirkiness.
Yeah, and what else is there to say? But we're excited and pumped, and I don't really care about all those cultural appropriation because I just don't believe in it.
I'm glad you said that because the really white person can't really say that. But I'm interested to see if there's any cultural appropriation at all. It's going to be totally subtle and unintentional. There's no way.
It reminds me of this is really tangent, but Super Troopers 2's got really bad reviews and said it wasn't funny, but it takes place in Canada, and like the entire theater laughed like so much, and I'm like, maybe it wasn't funny because an American watched it, and I think maybe Isle of Dogs were just reviewed by people that were just too sensitive.
Wes Anderson just has a style where he just kind of grabs things from different cultures that he likes.
Yeah.
So I think there's no way that this movie isn't like a love letter to Japanese cinema, which he's already said that he grew up watching.
He wrote it himself. It's not based off anything. And the fact that, I read articles where it's like, Japanese Americans watched it and they understand the dialogue that was spoken in Japanese. So like, there's no problem with it.
Well, because I saw somebody say that like some of the characters they look like the depiction of them is kind of racist, but think about it. Like if you're doing animation and you're making like one of the characters like an older Japanese man, lots of wrinkles and stuff, you just like, it's hard not to make it look a certain way. But
stereotypes, they're based on reality at times. But
Sure.
I mean, I'm excited. It's just such a quirky storyline. I mean, when the first trailer dropped, I was excited. Like Dog Island, awesome stuff, and I really am.
And we don't care that the dogs speak in English.
Yeah, with American accents.
It makes complete sense in the context of the movie.
Yeah, like what do we want the dogs to speak English in a Japanese accent to be like culturally appropriated? But anyways, I look forward to it, and just the fact that the quirkiness and just dogs talking and a Japanese cast that speaks Japanese, how much are they going to translate? What's going to be actually important? What's not?
I'm excited to see all the references to like big Japanese cultural things that maybe see some nods to his favorite Japanese films.
Yeah.
Because Wes Anderson's a big fan of Japanese cinema, so.
And Kurosawa.
There you go.
So, I mean, I'm just excited because it's another stop motion, because we need more of those movies. Those movies need to be supported.
Stop motion animation is great.
I'm sad that Early Man didn't get that hype, but that's the art, guys. 3D animation, they pop them out like crazy nowadays, but stop motion, 2 to 3 years, not a good return. So support this stuff. So what else is there to say? But we're gonna enjoy this. I'm pretty sure I'll like it. I don't have to watch it. I'll like it.
I've liked everything Wes Anderson's done, even his commercials for like Prada.
Yeah.
So
those are fun.
And H&M.
Yeah. So I believe in you, or we believe in you. So anyways, that's it. This is before, and this is after. Whoa. Isle of Dogs, great stuff, great animation, technical level, amazing, great achievingness, can't speak English, but just a quick comparison. I think, like you were saying, Fantastic Fox, narratively, character-wise, and pacing, I think more spot on and tight.
He's working with like source material, whereas this is his own creation, right? But yeah, from a technical standpoint, like the stop motion is so much better.
Yeah, there's so much movement.
Mr. Fox was good, but the stop motion is so much better in this one.
Yeah.
Like all the individual hairs on the dogs and
every time there's a fight scene.
Yeah, and like you were saying, when the plane crashes and the smoke comes out, and when they open the serum bottle and the vapor comes out.
So much air stuff. That's just like a lot of work.
All the fine details.
Yeah, it's just great.
See, that's how you know you're watching a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah, like talking about the finer details, like you're saying, live action, animation, no problem here. This is still a Wes Anderson. Just like you can see it from the cuts and how he transitions.
That's what amazes me. That's what I like the most. I like how no matter what format he's doing, you can still get all the tenets of his filmmaking, like all the quirky emotions and cuts and like the way the shots are composed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Still there, even in the animation. So
yeah, so I really can't wait for him.
True auteur.
I can't wait for it to see like an actual animation film, like a 3D animation, to see how he would pull it off.
I don't know. I think he's married to the stop motion now. I think that's his thing. If he does animated movies, I think he wants to keep the stop motion alive.
That's true. Yeah, so cultural appropriation. None.
Sorry guys.
Shame on you. Seriously, like the movie starts with a disclaimer explaining why Japanese dialogue is being translated.
He jumps through hoops just to tell you and explain why. He didn't have to.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do that.
And the biggest thing would be like the Japanese text is bigger than the English. Like even on the poster, now that I look at it, the English is much smaller than the Japanese. And you don't have to do that. That actually makes it so much harder to sell.
Yeah.
And
plus no subtitles for any of the characters speaking in Japanese.
Well, except at the end.
Yeah, except at the end.
But it was like narratively contextualized why there was subtitles. Because there was no one translator.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, with that said, I think like it's more of a showcase of just Japanese culture, what's Japan known for. You could go like, oh, it's very stereotypical, but I'm like, dude, like Japan is known for these things. It's a reality.
But I think even if you would ask a Japanese person what they would pick from their culture as like what to highlight, the things that were in the movie were those things, like family, honor, respect,
baseball, sumo, wrestling, sushi. Oh yeah, you were saying about that fish scene. You really enjoy that one?
Well, yeah, because I mean, in the episode in Chef's Table on Netflix, when they talk about Japanese cooking, the way they cook and prepare the fish, like they show exactly how they do it in this movie.
So it's
the exact technique, which I can't remember the name of, but yeah,
that's an appropriation.
Those are the small touches that Wes Anderson puts in his movie. It shows he cares.
Yeah, and then I think I read something about how Tracy, the character, is sort of like a white savior of the group. But seriously, if you have seen like any Japanese high school drama, you would need a Tracy character to be there.
She's the only person that would stand up, right?
Yeah, because she'll be the white person who's just like, hey, you can't do this. Whereas every Japanese person, fine, that's generalizing, but most Japanese people will be like, you know, I'm just going to say yes.
Stick with the status quo.
Yeah, I don't want to be troublemaker. And I mean, even the Japanese people were like, we got to figure out something. We got to report this. Like, they were the one that initiated. It's not like Tracy's like, let's do this, but rather like, what's your view, foreign student? And then she's like, well, this is how I see it. Yeah. And then, granted, I don't know, like sure, her standing in front of the entire class is sort of like kind of iffy because there's like a huge class of Japanese kids and you have the white kids standing in front. And I think people are just sensitive in this sensitive time. But I swear, like, that is how it's gonna go down. Like, sure, you could go like, why couldn't she just be Japanese? Well, it's just like the whole cultural difference.
I just think it was more of a respectful showcase, like you're saying, rather than a negative cultural appropriation.
Yeah,
it's appropriation, sure, but so is a ton of other things in the world.
Yeah,
and but at least it's appropriating it for the right reason, which is really to prop it up rather than debase it or degrade it.
And also,
or to mock it. It's not.
Yeah,
mocking
it's totally not mocking.
It's totally a
like if you think it's mocking it, you're just your problem.
Yeah.
And you talked about in our before segment about this dude's animation, like the Mojo Dojo guy, Sergeant.
Oh, yeah, the
Major.
Yeah, the Major Domo. I think even if he were a white character, he would still be portrayed a similar way. He's supposed to be this like Frankenstein kind of like
he's just basically what the
Addams Family type looking creep.
Yeah, like what the
he's the true villain. He ends up being the true villain, right?
Like the food critic in Ratatouille. Like, did anyone complain when that came out? I don't think so. But he's spinely and he's just not sightful. Yeah. So yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I am glad that. Okay, we went in knowing we'll like it. Do you think you liked it more?
I think I liked it even more than I thought I was going to like it.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought it was going to be a very good quality film.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little disappointed with the middle part of the plot where it kind of dragged a little bit. But other than that, like, yeah, I had it surpassed my expectations for it, which is saying something because I expect a lot from Wes Anderson all the time now because I've liked every single one of his movies.
Yeah. but you were saying that this is probably your least favorite one.
Yeah, which again is saying something because this is an excellent movie.
Yeah.
But he is probably... I do like when he does live action movies more.
It's just different, like just how the actors portray themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you got freaking stop motion dogs being trying to be expression.
Yeah.
Like pulling off an expression.
And they do it to the best of their ability
Yeah.
in like the animation in that style, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing beating like seeing Jeff Goldblum live action. But his voice is pretty great too.
Yeah, voice acting was great
He's
here.
a tremendous voice cast.
Great fun time. And yeah, nothing awkward at all. So good on them. Good casting. Good job. And yeah, seriously, if cultural appropriation is
Calm
the
down
only
with the cultural
if that is your reason to not watch this film,
you're missing out.
you're missing out. Like seriously, just close your eyes and ears on that stuff and just really look into this movie.
And just know that Wes Anderson's a super respectful filmmaker. He would never do something to knowingly mock something that he so clearly appreciates. So.
Well, you can totally say because he's white, so he doesn't know what he's talking about.
It's true.
And I'm Chinese, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But for me, I watch like a lot of Japanese TV, a lot of Japanese movies, so I'm like sort of more than your average North American in terms of Japanese knowledge. And I don't think it wasn't offensive at all. Like Super Troopers 2 had a joke that was pretty offensive, and that was scary. But anyways, overall, Isle of Dogs, check it out. New Wes Anderson, you should just be checking him out regardless what.
At this point, you should be watching every Wes Anderson movie.
Exactly. I haven't done that yet, so.
He's only going to have so many in our lifetime.
Yeah.
He's that auteur director who only does like 20 movies in his career.
Exactly, and then for you to support him in the box office, not a lot of time to do that, so do that. Anyways, we're done here. Isle of Dogs, recommended, go watch it. And it was crazy. It's been out for a month now? I mean, granted, it's been here at Tinseltown, like, exclusively for the first 2 to 3 weeks. We still had a packed theater. Like, people were shocked when they walked in, and they were like, why are there no seats? And we showed up, like, 20, 15 minutes earlier, and we barely got a good spot. But, yeah, seriously, if you're going to go check this out, be on time or early. Yeah, that's all. So yeah, enjoyed it. Dogs, great stuff. Love the animation, and worth your time. Anyway,
Look forward to his next one.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, that's it for this before and after for Isle of Dogs. Later.